hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome. I thought today my final project would just be sitting out here on this bench, and I'm going to talk to you just about my thoughts and feelings. Because honestly, we're going to go away from talking about what the meaning of art is and what is art. We're going to talk more about something that hits a little closer to home, personally, talking about my art, which is going to be purpose and intention. I think this has always been in my mind, I mean, of course, lately, nowadays, it's been in my mind a lot more, coming with the end of class and everything like that. We're getting close to that point. But as we talk in class, and before focusing on purpose, some artists making works with their whole life behind it to try to expose or necessarily inform the population. I think my work is more, I wouldn't say not meaningless, but I would say my work is more meant to just make its own meaning, It's not meant to mean something of its own. I think I take a lot of inspiration from who we recently learned, Shepard Fairey, the artist and illustrator of Obey. And, his work, there was really no meaning behind it. He just wanted people to just take any meaning they want, spread it around, spread the culture, spread his ideas. And a lot of people made meetings, of course, and I think that's the fun part of it. Not everything has to be filled with like a purpose or an intention, and if it is, though, in my opinion, I think that art right now, the art field is like so politically influenced and just socially, it's just always trying to spread an agenda or a message. I think that takes a lot of beauty out of art. When it becomes less of just an enjoyment and less of a joy, and it becomes eventually just a means to spread information and just sometimes negative aspects of life. So I'm going to be putting some of my works right here across, just demonstrating kind of my basic premises. Some of them I might be thinking of a mood or an idea, like a feeling, and that could influence my drawing, definitely, for sure. But I think there's no deeper meaning behind most of my works. I think it's mostly just creativity and imagination. And when we're asked purpose and why we make, I think that's one of my main reasons. I'm not trying to make people believe what I believe or join my political ideas. It's mostly just to make people think in a way that how they want to think. Sometimes it makes them laugh, it can make them sad, And I think that's pretty much my philosophy there. Well, not philosophy. I think I'd also like to talk about any famous artists. I'd like to mention another specific artist that maybe not quite as famous, but I recently discovered him actually through this class that I've been taking. His name is Philip Schoeck. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. He was just a normal man who went to World War II, I believe, and because of it, he came out severely traumatized and mentally ill. And he was admitted to a psychiatric hospital eventually, and he had the opportunity to create and draw and let his mind run free. And a lot of his works were, in my opinion, all I could say is cool. They were very just interesting, and some of them had, I don't know. It was basically looking at his eyes, his perception, his thoughts, and he just threw it on the paper, and he got a lot of judgment from it. It was higher ups in the psychiatric hospital claimed that he had no idea what he was doing. He wasn't an artist. He shouldn't be called one. even though he was, but eventually that changed. I mean, curators and critics found his work and they found it appealing and they were able to analyze it, and I think that's just very inspiring to me, to be able to take something from that, something that probably didn't have too much meaning, in all honesty, but you know, it was still his mind on paper.